Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, a massive web outage overnight, the manhunt for the thieves who stole Napoleon's jewels, and what happens when you sing Born to Run with the boss watching. Breaking news, major global outage. This morning, the websites and popular apps impacted, like Amazon Ring, Alexa, Snapchat, Fortnite, and more. We're tracking the latest and what Amazon Web Services is saying about the cause.
Gone in 7 minutes, the massive manhunt underway right now after the brazen daytime heist at the world's most famous museum, the Louvre, targeting some of France's most valuable crown jewels. Police investigating this video believed to show one of the suspects. This morning, new details on how the 4 men broke in, the priceless missing pieces, and how they escaped. James Longman is live on the scene at the Louvre in Paris.
President Trump accuses the president of Colombia of being an illegal drug dealer after the Colombian president accused the U.S. of killing an innocent fisherman in one of the strikes on an alleged drug boat in the Caribbean Sea.
Off the runway, 2 people killed when a cargo plane went into the sea after landing in Hong Kong. The investigation this morning.
George Santos back in the spotlight, days after the convicted former congressman had his prison sentence commuted by President Trump after serving just 84 days.
Royal reckoning, the new investigation in connection to Prince Andrew's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein after he announced he would be giving up his royal title. Terrorized at home.
Open the door! Open the door!
The hunt for the suspects after 3 people caught on a doorbell camera dressed in Halloween costumes threatened a family.
3.
A special honor for Robin at Southeastern Louisiana University.
This is really cool.
A homecoming that meant so much to her, and now helping students pursue their dreams.
'Cause tramps like us, baby, we were born to run.
Running wild on Sunday.
39-yard field goal for the win. He got it! Denver's won!
Overnight, the Broncos stunned the Giants with a huge comeback. Plus, the World Series on the line. The Blue Jays and Mariners going the distance. And we're hearing from the boss and the bear. But it can't have been easy to be sitting there playing Bruce Springsteen with Bruce Springsteen sitting on set. As we run into Monday.
But till it tramps like us, baby, we were born to run.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Monday. Good morning, America.
And that's Jeremy Allen White actually
Bruce.
singing, not the Brute. Nope. So we got the boss and we got the bear.
Yeah, they're both coming up later this morning. We're going to begin, though, with that breaking news overnight. A major global outage impacting so many popular websites and apps like Amazon, Alexa, Snapchat, Fortnite. Rhiannon Alley starts us off with the latest developments. Good morning, Rhiannon.
Hey, good morning to you, George. Yeah, if you were up late overnight wanting to watch some of your favorite shows, or even if you had a flight to catch, you may have noticed a problem with many of your favorite apps thanks to a major outage taking down some really big name favorites. Amazon Web Services, which is a leader in the cloud infrastructure market, reported the outage, citing an operational issue, saying around 2 a.m. East Coast time that it was working to accelerate the recovery. According to the app that tracks problems like these, Down Detector, some of the sites affected that you mentioned, Amazon, Prime Video, Disney Plus, which is owned by the parent company of ABC, Lyft, McDonald's, Snapchat, United Airlines, Venmo, and Verizon. The list goes on and on. Some United and Delta customers even reported on social media they couldn't find their reservations online, they couldn't check in, they couldn't drop their bags. Other social media users cited problems with cloud-based games, including Roblox and Fortnite. AWS said it was seeing significant signs of recovery around 2:45, 3 a.m. Eastern time, saying most of those sites should be back up and running. So pretty much everything is restored this morning, guys, but it really shows you how many of these websites we use.
But as of 5 a.m., Angry Birds still was not up because I was up early this morning trying to play my Angry Birds before coming here, Rhiannon. So hopefully by the time we're through here, it'll be back online.
Hopefully so.
Yeah, all right. But now the manhunt underway after thieves stole priceless crown jewels in a daring daytime heist at the world's most famous museum, the Louvre. Chief International Correspondent James Longman is there in Paris with the latest for us. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. I'm right at the spot where those thieves gained entry to the Louvre. Take a look. It's at that balcony that they managed to get in. Along there is the Apollo Gallery. That is where France's crown jewels are located and where they raided. And take a look. This is the road along which they drove. If you look, that black car there, that is basically where the van came to a halt. Out of that, they had some kind of mechanical ladder which they placed up against the balcony, and you can see the broken window. That is the wooden pane which is now covering the place where these thieves are alleged to have entered. And take a look. I mean, this happened at 9:30 in the morning. A busy, busy time. Paris, rush hour. Everyone just amazed that they could have done this at what is supposed to be the most secure museum in the world.
A massive manhunt is underway this morning for the jewel thieves behind a daring daylight heist at the largest art museum in the world. Police say 4 men disguised as construction workers broke into the Louvre using this mobile elevator before making off with priceless pieces of France's crown jewels.
This is the heist of the decade, targeting the Louvre, the world's most famous museum. It's as bad as it gets, especially for France, but also for the entire world.
Police are investigating this image from a video obtained by BFM TV, which they believe shows one suspect trying to access one of the jewellery cases. The suspect's making off with 8 items, including sets of sapphire and emerald necklaces and earrings, 2 diadems and elaborate diamond brooches. This one purchased by the Louvre in 2008 for just under €7 million. It all played out 9:30 Sunday morning. Officials immediately shutting down the museum.
And all of a sudden, we were kind of rushed by a big mob of police that were running by, and they were all running to one of the wings of the Louvre, and they were trying to get into one of the side doors.
Visitors inside quickly evacuated. Police say the masked robbers drove up to the side of the museum in a truck mounted with a ladder described as a mobile freight elevator. Police say the lift was extended up to a second-floor window, which the thieves broke open using an angle grinder, a handheld power tool used for metalwork. From there, they're alleged to have threatened security guards before ransacking the Apollo Gallery, where Napoleon III's crown jewels were on display. Police say they tried to set fire to the lift they used before they fled. The raid lasted all of 7 minutes before they escaped on scooters. But the gang seems to have dropped the 200-year-old crown of Empress Eugenie, Napoleon's wife. It was damaged but recovered at the scene.
You cannot replace them. They are so important for French history that you cannot sell these pieces. What everybody fears is that the gold and the silver will be melted down and the jewels will be taken out and sold separately.
Now, along with that crown, the thieves look to have dropped a blowtorch, the power tools they used to get in, gloves. Forensics experts are going to be poring over those items to find any clues to make sure they find these items before they disappear forever. Guys.
Wow, what a story. Okay, James, thanks very much. We're going to get the latest now from President Trump, issuing new threats to Colombia after the country's president accused the U.S. of killing an innocent fisherman in a military strike aimed at stopping drug smuggling. Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce is here with the story. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. And this came to a head very quickly. President Trump this morning is accusing the president of Colombia of doing nothing to stop drug production and says he's going to slash assistance to the country, even though for decades, Colombia has been an ally to the U.S. in the war on drugs. This morning, President Trump in an escalating fight with Colombia over strikes like this. The U.S. killing 3 men Friday in a strike in the Caribbean. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth alleging, without evidence, they were affiliated with a Colombian insurgency group. One of 7 deadly strikes in recent weeks, all part of the president's campaign against alleged drug cartels. Trump now accusing the president of Colombia of being an illegal drug dealer and saying he's cutting off U.S. aid to the country.
They are a drug manufacturing machine, Colombia. And we're not going to be part of this.
Trump posting that Colombian President Gustavo Petro is doing nothing to stop drug production, warning him to close up the cartel's killing fields immediately, or the United States will close them up for him, and it won't be done nicely. Trump's threat coming just hours after Petro accused the U.S. of killing an innocent fisherman during a strike last month in the Caribbean. Petro writing U.S. government officials have committed murder and violated our sovereignty in territorial waters. The Colombian boat was adrift and had its distress signal up due to an engine failure. To justify using the U.S. military to kill suspected smugglers rather than arrest them, Trump has declared that the U.S. is in a formal armed conflict and the drug cartels are unlawful combatants. But the administration has provided few details and no evidence to back up their claims that the 32 alleged traffickers killed so far were attempting to smuggle drugs. Questions about the legality of these strikes now raising serious concern from both sides of the aisle.
They had a very hard time explaining to us the rationale, the legal rationale for doing this and the constitutionality of doing it.
All of these people have been blown up without us knowing their name, without any evidence of a crime.
Now, despite these concerns, the president is undeterred, showing no signs of stopping these attacks, and he's moving ahead to punish Colombia, saying he's imposing new tariffs on the country today, George.
And Mary, there's an investigation of what may have been a threat against President Trump.
Yeah, and this is a disturbing discovery. The FBI is now investigating a suspicious hunting stand discovered with a direct line of sight to the very spot where President Trump steps off Air Force One at Palm Beach International Airport. The Secret Service says it was discovered during a routine security sweep ahead of the president's arrival on Friday, and they're now trying to determine who is behind this. FBI Director Kash Patel says no individuals were located at the scene, and the agency is flying in resources to collect evidence. It comes, of course, though, after those 2 assassination attempts against the president last year.
Okay, Mary, thank you.
All right. And George, thank you. We're going to turn now to the No Kings demonstrations around the country. Streets were filled with peaceful demonstrators protesting the Trump administration's policies. Our senior political correspondent, Rachel Scott, is here with the latest for us. Good morning to you, Rachel.
Robin, good morning to you. And this is shaping up to be the largest display of defiance and opposition to President Trump since he took office again. Organizers say nearly 7 million people took to the streets for the No Kings protests to protest what they call an abuse of power by President Trump. The demonstrations happening in more than 2,000 cities and towns, 200,000 people showing up in the president's own backyard in Washington, D.C. The protesters say they were fueled by the president's sweeping cuts to the federal government, his crackdown on immigration, and his decision to send the National Guard into Democratic states. The president responded by mocking the rallies on social media, calling it a joke. But these were massive crowds that turned out to send the president a message. This morning, it is being described as one of the largest single-day protests in U.S. history.
Yeah, that's very peaceful. And also, in other news, we know that former Congressman George Santos, he is now free after serving only a short amount of time with the president commuting his sentence.
Yeah, he is a free man this morning. He was sentenced to 7 years in prison. In the end, he served just about 3 months. The president making this decision to commute the sentence of George Santos, who you may remember left Congress in disgrace. He was expelled. He was found lying about everything from his education to his background. He said that his grandparents survived the Holocaust. That was not true. He said that his mother was killed in the 9/11 September 11th attacks. That was not true either. And it wasn't just lying. He was convicted of wire fraud, identity theft. A congressional investigation found that he even used campaign funds on Botox, designer goods. The president commuting his sentence, when he announced this on social media, he provided some sort of reasoning for this, saying at least Santos had the courage, conviction, and intelligence to always vote Republican.
And also the money that he was supposed to pay, he no longer has to.
To the victims, right now, he does not have to pay any of that back.
All right, Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel. We're going to turn now to the Middle East, where the Gaza ceasefire is under pressure. Israel and Hamas are accusing each other of violating the truth with violent strikes. Foreign correspondent Tom Sufi-Burge is on the scene in Israel. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, George. President Trump saying that U.S.-brokered ceasefire in Gaza is still in place. And this morning, American mediators Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner rushing to Israel for urgent talks, touching down here in the past few hours because the fragile truce between Israel and Hamas collapsing over the weekend during a nearly 12-hour period. The IDF accusing Hamas of killing 2 of its soldiers Sunday in a surprise attack from a tunnel. Hamas denying involvement, but Israel retaliating, saying it targeted Hamas in a wave of airstrikes right across Gaza. 44 Palestinians killed in the violence, according to the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry. Israel stopping the flow of all humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip, but this morning allowing aid trucks to cross once again. Now, over the weekend, Hamas returning 2 more bodies of dead hostages, so 12 returned over the past week, but 16 are still unaccounted for, including the bodies of 2 Americans. In Gaza, some recovery efforts underway amid the monumental destruction there. The next stages of this deal are still complex and unclear. Robin.
It is. All right, Tom. Appreciate you keeping an eye on that for us. Now, the investigation after a cargo plane went off the runway and into the sea. Transportation correspondent Gio Benitez here with those details. Good morning to you, Gio.
Hey, Robin, good morning. Yeah, the cargo plane had just arrived at Hong Kong International Airport from Dubai. Here, just take a look at these images here, because the plane was partially submerged, its tail separated from the fuselage. Police say they think the plane hit a patrol vehicle with 2 airport workers inside, knocking that vehicle into the water. Now, the 2 men were pulled out of that water, but they did not survive. The 4 crew members on the cargo plane, they were rescued through the plane's emergency doors, and officials said that the pilots never signaled that there was any issue before the plane veered left halfway down that runway, crashing through the perimeter fence and into the sea. Investigators are now looking for those black boxes, George.
Okay, Gio, thanks. We're turning now to a new study released overnight that shows a sharp drop in childhood peanut allergies. Larry here with the details. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning to you, George. So this is all about the early introduction of peanuts and other commonly allergenic foods. Back in 2015, the American Academy of Pediatrics first recommended introducing those foods to kids between 4 and 6 months. They later expanded that to include more children. Well, now this research study from about 40,000 children shows the guidance is working. The new study published in Pediatrics found that peanut allergies dropped by 43% after those new feeding guidelines were introduced. And overall, food allergies dropped by about 1/3. Egg allergies, though, they held steady. Eggs are now the most common food allergies in children, guys.
I mean, eggs are now.
Eggs.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to have you back, Larry.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. October baseball, and tonight it's win or go home for Toronto and Seattle with a spot in the World Series at stake. Will Reeve is here with excitement. There's nothing better than a Game 7.
It's the 2 best words in sports, Robin. Good morning to everybody. Game 7 is what we have on deck here. The Blue Jays and the Mariners have been throwing haymakers at each other all series long. Last night, the Blue Jays scored early and then ran it up with a pair of home runs. One from superstar Vladimir Guerrero Jr. had the crowd going wild. That's his 6th home run of the postseason. That ties a franchise record. So that Game 7 is tonight. The winner gets the privilege, if you could call it that, of playing the defending champion Los Angeles Dodgers. They swept the Milwaukee Brewers thanks to perhaps the greatest game any baseball player has ever played. Shohei Ohtani, the pitcher, threw 6 shutout innings, striking out 10 batters. Shohei Ohtani, the batter, hit 3 home runs, including one that almost left Dodger Stadium. It was officially measured, this one right here, at 469 feet. I think they undersold that by about, I don't know, half a mile. And the World Series gets underway Friday night. Great time of year.
Has to be, yeah, it has to be the greatest game ever.
I think so. Yeah. In that spot, too, the ALCS or NLCS.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Will.
You got it.
Coming up, Prince Andrew's Royal Reckoning. Ian Pennell has laid us on that. Hey, Ian.
Yeah, hey, George, that's right. This is a story that is not going away. Just look at the front pages here. Scandal with no end.
And Royal contributor Robert Jobson has the fallout at Buckingham Palace.
Also had a family terrorized by 3 people wearing Halloween masks. The latest on the search for the suspects. But my goodness, it's a busy Monday morning. And coming up, the new projection for cruises next year and the most popular cruise destinations for Americans. We're going to tell you about that and a whole lot more when we come back. Back here on GMA, we all know the song, and if you're not looking up at who is singing, you might confuse a voice with the boss himself. Well, that's just a glimpse of Jeremy Allen White portraying Bruce Springsteen. And George had a chance to sit down with the boss of the cast of Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. We're looking forward to that in our next hour.
Fun. And before he took up this role, Jeremy Allen White did not play the guitar.
That's right.
Did not sing.
Yeah.
Learned a lot.
You couldn't have.
First, new at 7:30, the government shut down in day 20 this morning. Senate back in session later today, expected to vote again on a measure to end the stalemate, but it's not going to go anywhere. No sign yet of a compromise between Republicans and Democrats that could actually pass. Hundreds of thousands of federal workers have been furloughed due to the shutdown, are working without getting paid. Also, police in Philadelphia say human remains found in a shallow grave this weekend are believed to belong to Kata Scott. 23-year-old woman went missing 2 weeks ago. Authorities are waiting for the medical examiner to confirm the identity and a cause of death. A suspect is in custody, charged with Scott's kidnapping and other offenses connected to her disappearance. And AAA is predicting 2026 will be a record-breaking year for cruise travel, with nearly 22 million Americans taking to the high seas. The most popular destination is the Caribbean. 72% of travelers choose to cruise there. Nearly half of all passengers are traveling as couples. 20% are taking their kids.
All right. How about the other 80%? Right. But now we have the fallout at Buckingham Palace after Prince Andrew announced he'll stop using his royal title as he faces new allegations related to Jeffrey Epstein. Royal contributor Robert Jobson is standing by. But first, Chief Foreign Correspondent Ian Pannell has the story for us. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. Prince Andrew still in the headlines despite the palace's repeated attempts at damage control. This story is not going away. Just look at this front page in the Daily Mirror. There are many more, but it pretty much sums it up. Scandal with no end.
Prince Andrew further embroiled in scandal this morning, with detectives looking into claims he asked his police protection officer to investigate Virginia Giuffre. The Mail on Sunday publishing emails they say are from Andrew to an aide of the late Queen Elizabeth. I have given her date of birth and social security number for investigation with XXX, the on-duty personal protection officer. The paper saying these emails come from the Epstein files and that the prince was asking for Giuffre to be looked into before a photo of them together was to be published. Andrew's friendship with Epstein seemingly lasting longer than Andrews claimed. Recently released emails appearing to show that the prince wrote to Epstein in 2011 saying, "We'll play together soon," months after he said he'd cut off all contact. Just days ago, the disgraced royal and his wife Sarah Ferguson announcing they'd be giving up their Duke and Duchess titles. In a statement, Andrew saying, "The continued accusations about me distract from the work of His Majesty and the royal family." The King and Prince William taking action after those accusations resurfaced with the publication of Virginia Giuffre's memoir, in which she claims the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein trafficked her to have sex with Andrew when she was 17.
He knows exactly what he's done.
Virginia Giuffre took her own life last year, but her book will be released posthumously tomorrow. In it, she describes 3 alleged sexual encounters with the prince, calling Andrew entitled, describing the moment they first met when Andrew guessed her age, 17. Andrew has always denied the accusations.
I have no recollection of ever meeting this lady.
Telling the BBC in 2019,
"She was very specific about that night. She described dancing with you and you profusely sweating, and that she went on to have bath, possibly."
There's a slight problem with the sweating because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time, because I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in the Falklands War when I was shot at, and it was almost impossible for me to sweat.
He stepped back from royal duties shortly after this interview, and although he denied any wrongdoing, he paid Giuffre millions to settle her claims in 2022. He was also stripped of his military roles and forbidden to call himself a Royal Highness.
No comment from Buckingham Palace, but aides are bracing themselves for more potential fallout with the release of Virginia Giuffre's memoir. That happens tomorrow. And some politicians here are now calling for a vote in Parliament to completely strip the prince of all of his titles. George?
Okay, Ian, thanks. Let's bring in our royal contributor, Robert Jobson. Okay, Robert, we learned the book for Virginia Giuffre's book is coming out tomorrow. They were trying to get ahead of it?
I think that's exactly what's happened, George. The book was coming out posthumously because, of course, she took her own life. It's coming out. They're trying to contain the situation, to try and get in their retaliation first, if you like, ahead of the king going to the Vatican on an important visit. The reality is that it seems to have backfired, really, because ultimately now people are calling for him. Now he is holding his titles in abeyance. He's not using them. They're asking for him to be stripped of being a prince altogether. He may not have been sweating, he said before, but he's certainly sweating now.
No question about that. This has been going on for 15 years. Why did it take so long?
Well, there's been continual denials on behalf of the Prince Andrew, and the fact is he's maintained his complete innocence in the whole situation. But now it's come out that he's clearly lied, because the dates involved say that he had no contact after 2010 with Epstein. He did, so he's clearly lying, and that means it calls into question any of the other claims that he has made. I think the king had to act. The king had to do something, but unfortunately it doesn't really seem an awful lot. The bottom line is people here see him as dragging the monarchy down and dragging the brand of the monarchy down, and ultimately this is a dreadful situation that doesn't seem to be going away.
What more can Parliament do exactly?
Well, Parliament have the role and the right to take away the title, the Duke of York, and they can do that. The King and the palace have simply just held the title in abeyance. So he's been said you can't use the title, and he won't use the title. But most people, George, think of him as Prince Andrew anyway, so it doesn't really mean that much. What could the king do? He could take away Royal Lodge, I suppose, if he really had a push. But the reality there is that Andrew has a 75-year lease and millions of pounds that were left to him by the Queen after she died. So he's going nowhere. I think the reality is, though, people want something more, much more than just him not using his titles. I think if it's pushed and it goes to Parliament, they would strip him of his title. But even that said, he's not actually having any reaction to what's actually happened, which is a crime.
What do you make of these reports that Prince William is even more upset than King Charles?
There's no question that look, at the end of the day, George, Charles is his brother, so it's harder for him to be so harsh. For William, it's his uncle, and he's also bringing the whole of the monarchy and the future of the monarchy into disrepute. And William, of course, has got to look to the future. The king, who is living with cancer, has to try to maintain the status quo now. But William is talking about he's going to be the king for many, many years to come, and doesn't want this scandal and that just dragging on. You know, he's the father of a young daughter, and these sort of allegations are pretty awful. We saw him at a funeral quite recently of the Duchess of Kent, and when Prince Andrew stood next to Prince William, he didn't look at all comfortable.
Robert Jobson, thanks very much.
Now, with what first appeared to be a Halloween prank on a family in Virginia that took a terrifying turn and was all caught on camera. You got to bring those details to us, Lara.
Robin, just imagine going to your front door, seeing what looks like 3 kids in Halloween costumes. A little early, but not a big deal. But soon it becomes very clear these kids are not looking for some candy. It got scary very quickly.
This morning, police investigating this chilling video captured on a Ring doorbell camera.
I see you.
Showing 3 people in Halloween costumes outside a home in Alexandria, Virginia, late Tuesday night. The 3 apparently laughing at first. But then their actions quickly become more sinister as the people inside refuse to open the door.
Open the door! I'm gonna count to 10. If this door doesn't open, we're gonna come in. 1, 2.
I said Happy Halloween when they first came, asked them to get off the property. When they didn't, that's when I realized it wasn't a joke anymore.
Our affiliate, WJLA, speaking to Shayla, one of the family members inside.
They tore the whole thing down.
She says the trio made its way to the backyard, destroying her fence and damaging a back door screen.
They came through there, and that's how they entered to get to our door to be able to knock on the back door.
Police are now working to identify the individuals.
We're going to take every step once we identify them to prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law.
What at first was seen as an unnerving prank, police now say was an attempted burglary.
Going around to their backyard, destroying property, really brings alarm and transitions from a prank to a criminal offense. And we take these incidents seriously.
Really scary. And the chief says people should not be made to feel unsafe in their homes. But Shayla, who stays in the home with her mom, says that's exactly how they felt. Police are asking neighbors to check their cameras and share footage as investigators pledge to track down the people behind those masks.
Thank goodness the family's all right.
Yes, just terrifying.
It is.
And so unnecessary.
All right. Thank you, Lara. Will Reeve is here with a Wow Football Sunday, starting with one of the greatest fourth quarter, they say comebacks, one of the greatest
chokes?
Yes, that.
I don't know.
I was choking trying to find
they're
it.
making fun of me here on set, and with good reason as a Giants fan. That's where we're going to start. I'm going to take off my Giants fan hat, put on my objective journalist hat, because yesterday we did see one of the greatest and most improbable comebacks in NFL history. The Broncos were down by 18 points with just 5 minutes left in the game against the Giants before they scored 3 consecutive touchdowns to take the lead. But then the Giants come back and take the lead, or regain the lead. Jackson Dart, the rookie QB, taking it in. So with 34 seconds left, the Giants are up. But that turned out to be too much time on the clock because Denver advances the ball into field goal range, and that right there is a walk-off game-winning field goal from kicker Will Lutz. George, here's a stat for you. The NFL teams had won 1,602 straight games when leading by 18 points in the final 6 minutes of the game. Is that obscure enough for you right there? And painful enough. And by the way, how about those Chiefs? they've got their mojo back. Look at this trick play here, worthy of an Oscar. Patrick Mahomes trying to draw the Raiders offside on 4th down. He pretended to get all frustrated. You saw him raise his hands to the sideline. Like, what are we doing here? We have to bleep out what he actually said. The hot mic picked it up. Anyway, the Chiefs get the first down. They also get the win, 31-0. And the Eagles snapped their 2-game skid with a 28-22 victory over the Minnesota Vikings. This was a particular highlight. 79 yards from Jalen Hurts to Devontae Smith for the touchdown. That was a real good one.
Wow. Let's play 2 tonight.
Okay, let's do it. We got a doubleheader. Yep. Monday Night Football, really good one. 2 of the league's best teams and quarterbacks going head-to-head. Baker Mayfield's Buccaneers, Jared Goff and the Lions. MVP chatter surrounding both of them. And then the second game, Seahawks, Texans. Seattle quarterback Sam Darnold playing at an elite level, but Houston has a staunch defense. Something's got to give. Monday Night Football, doubleheader tonight. Lions hosting the Bucs, 7 Eastern on ABC. Texans, Seahawks, 10 Eastern on ESPN.
It's gonna be a late night in my house.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I know. It's been an interesting season so far.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen.
No, you don't. So coming up, from the NFL to nursing, how some retired players are trading their shoulder pads for scrubs.
Love that.
Yeah, I do too. Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. The massive manhunt underway right now after the brazen daytime heist at the world's most famous museum, the Louvre, targeting some of France's most valuable crown jewels. Police investigating this video believed to show one of the suspects. This morning, new details on how the 4 men broke in, the priceless missing pieces, and how they escaped.
My conversation with Bruce Springsteen and the cast of Deliver Me from Nowhere.
Well, music was the first way that I really medicated my anxieties and my depression, you know.
Jeremy Allen White on The Pressure.
There's such big shoes to fill, and I wasn't sure. I don't play guitar, I don't sing. I said, are you sure you don't want to find a guy that can kind of do some of these things, you know?
What it was like portraying the boss.
She got the medicine that everybody wants.
And the doctor is in.
I am Dr. Bailey. I hear everything. I know everything. I'm watching each and every one of you.
Oh, get ready. Grey's Anatomy star Shonda Wilson is here live as we say Good Morning America.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Monday. Good Morning America.
We are looking forward to catching up with Dr. Bailey. Also ahead, the NFL retirees taking up nursing as their second chapter, how they say playing football prepared them for high-pressure healthcare careers.
And Robin, you had a very special weekend at your alma mater, Southeastern Louisiana State University. Tell us about it.
I really did. It's the Robin Roberts Broadcast Media Center. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. This is me seeing it for the first time, but it's going to provide so many opportunities for the students there at my alma mater, and so I'm looking forward to sharing more about that coming up.
That is going to be great. First, look at the top stories breaking today. We start with the manhunt underway after thieves stole priceless crown jewels in a daring daytime heist at the world's most famous museum, the Louvre. Let's go back to Chief International Correspondent James Longman in Paris. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, George. I'm right outside the spot where those thieves are alleged to have gained entry to the Louvre. Take a look. You can see the balcony up there, and behind it, the door with a broken window and that piece of wood. That is the spot they are alleged to have made entry. That is the Apollo Gallery where France's crown jewels are located. Now, they're alleged to have come along this road, this very busy road, I have to say. That's what really strikes you being here. It's extraordinary that people didn't notice these men doing this. They were disguised as construction workers, though. They stopped right there in their van, and out of the back of that van came a mechanical ladder. They placed it up against the side of the building. 4 individuals were involved. We understand 2 went inside. They threatened the security guards they found inside, and then they made their way from display case to display case, raiding the crown jewels using what are described as small chainsaws to get inside the display cases. They've taken some of the most priceless pieces from the royal collection of the Napoleonic era in the 18th century, diamond and emerald encrusted jewels, which really the French authorities say are completely priceless. The whole thing took them only 7 minutes. They came back down here, got on the back of 2 scooters and made their escape, and now a worldwide manhunt is underway. Robin?
Such a brazen heist. James, thank you. Now to the trial of a former sheriff's deputy charged with the murder of Sonia Massey, an Illinois mother of 2 killed in her own home last year. Alex Perez has the details for us. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Robin. In court filings, former Deputy Sean Grayson says he opened fire and shot Sonia Massey because he feared for his own life. Now, warning, the video might be tough to watch. A jury selection in Grayson's trial is slated to begin today. The former deputy is charged with first-degree murder, aggravated battery with a firearm, and official misconduct. The deadly 6-minute encounter unfolding back in July of 2024 near Springfield, Illinois, after Sonia Massey called 911 to report a possible prowler. The horrifying ordeal captured on the deputy's body cameras. When Grayson and his partner arrived, Massey struggled to answer some of their questions. Things quickly escalated when the deputies told her she could remove a pot of boiling water from the stove. Seconds later, Grayson opens fire, striking and killing Massey. Her family members say she had been experiencing mental illness. Grayson does not deny the shooting and argues he feared for his own life, that his own life was in danger. The shooting becoming a flashpoint for the central Illinois community. The proceedings moved to Peoria County, Illinois. Now Sean Grayson has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Guys?
Many people remember this case, and many eyes are on it.
Coming up in our GMA morning menu, my conversation with Bruce Springsteen and the cast of Deliver Me From Nowhere on the new movie, bringing the deeply personal story of his struggles with depression while making his album Nebraska. That's coming to the big screen.
Also had Kenny Chesney receiving country music's highest honor, inducted into the Hall of Fame. Plus, who was on hand to celebrate?
Also, Oprah Daily's beauty editor is here with some of the winning beauty products in Oprah's awards. And Larry's got a special guest.
I do indeed. Chandra Wilson is here. We know her. We love her as Dr. Bailey. She's got scoop on the new season. Yeah, you do.
Okay.
You're going to share it. Coming up on Good Morning America. We'll be back.
We'll see.
I'll try.
And we are back with our GMA cover story. Bruce Springsteen and the cast of Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. I sat down with them ahead of the movie's release this Friday.
Songwriting's a funny thing. It's about searching for something. Something that's gonna give your life a little bit of meaning.
What's it like watching a movie about the most painful moments of your life?
Well, they tend to be the most interesting moments of your life at the end of the day, you know, when you're making your way through some sort of crucible, hopefully to come out the other side with some knowledge gained, some greater sense of self, and a story to tell.
Directed by Scott Cooper, Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere tells the deeply personal story of the rock legend's struggles with depression while making his 1982 album, Nebraska.
Sir, I guess it's just a meanness in this world.
Scott did an incredible job of transposing the fundamental nature of the album into film.
He actually said it's about a neglected soul repairing himself through music. Is that how you see it?
Well, music was the first way that I really medicated my anxieties and my depression, you know?
It's hard coming home.
Quiet can get a little loud.
It's one of the things that comes through in the film is that you hit that point where you realize it's not enough. You can't heal yourself only through the music.
I really knew a lot what to do with those 3 hours on stage. It was the other 21 that were killing me. You know?
Coming off the road has never been easy for you. You just need to give it some time. It'll pass.
Yeah. Did you know then, at those darkest moments, that you were going to emerge whole?
No. In the middle of it, there's a lot of confusion, chaos, you know, unsureness. You know, I think that I was very surprised when I had my initial, whatever you'd like to call it, breakdown, anxiety attacks. I had up to that point been quite successful in using my musical meds and keeping myself relatively steady. So it was very shocking to run into it where suddenly those things stopped working.
The Bears' Jeremy Allen White stars as Springsteen alongside Succession's Jeremy Strong as Bruce's longtime friend and manager, John Landau.
I can only imagine what it's like to get the phone call that says, how'd you like to play Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah, heavy call. Yeah. There's such big shoes to fill, and I wasn't sure. I don't play guitar, I don't sing. I said, are you sure you don't want to find a guy that can kind of do some of these things, you know?
Born down in a dead man's town. The first kick I took was when I hit the ground.
There was something about the way Jeremy carried himself, and he was the first guy that I thought of.
Bruce has far exceeded my expectations because he has so much humility and so much grace, and I've found that so does Jeremy. But what they share, that they don't teach at Juilliard, is swagger. And you either have that or you don't.
I always tell Scott when he says I have humility and swagger, he's half right.
One of the most real things, at least for me watching it, was this portrait of a friendship between two men you don't often see in film.
That was one of the things in the script that excited me the most, is about seeing this sort of a brotherhood and loyalty and love between two men that it's normally reserved for like a war film or something like that. You don't see men in this environment sort of leaning on each other in this way and protecting each other in this way.
No singles, no tour, no press.
No, really.
No joke.
Everybody, including myself, was expecting sort of the next evolution of Bruce and the E Street Band and a big rock album. And it was just starting to emerge slowly that, hey, that isn't the path that we're on. And I had to readjust.
In this office, my office, we believe in Bruce Springsteen.
I don't know how much time you had to prepare. What do you do?
It's a kind of relentless process of observation and study, internalizing your subject in a way. So he was my mark. He thought we were just hanging out and talking.
let me jump in here. Jeremy comes to see us, and we're doing a show in Denmark. And at the end of the show, I'm walking Jeremy to his car. And I come back, and our road manager, he just says, I was watching you guys walk to the car. You know something? He walks exactly like you. And I just realized he was just copying me right there, you know, right from the beginning.
But it can't have been easy to be sitting there playing Bruce Springsteen with Bruce Springsteen sitting on set.
I gotta say, I felt a little bad about that. I still do, that I was on set so much.
No. I think I was nervous that Bruce was there, or in my deepest insecurity, that Bruce was there to pick apart what I was doing. But then very, very quickly I learned that he was there to be a guide, to be a support.
Let's burn this place down, Johnny.
I had, I think, the most fun right here. You know, we had a group of background actors that were so excited to be here that day, and I would be performing up there, and they would be screaming so loud, and I could really find a moment where I tricked myself and I felt like they were screaming for me. And then our first AD would yell cut and everybody went silent, and I realized I'm just an actor. I am no Bruce Springsteen.
But you can really feel the brotherhood when you were talking to all of them. They really bonded and then sat.
It was a very funny story.
Yes. And you can see more of my conversation with Bruce and the cast tonight on Nightline. Then my special Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere, a conversation with the cast that airs tomorrow on ABC News Live, streams the next day on Hulu and Disney+. And Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere is in theaters this Friday.
Finally!
Yeah.
Finally it's in theaters. We've been talking about it and wanting to see it. Can't wait.
Yeah. I can see you guys in a band.
You can hold us on. Yeah.
We want to turn, though, now to a very special honor for a very special person. This weekend, Robin's alma mater, Southeastern Louisiana University, opened the Robin Roberts Broadcast Media Center, where students will pursue their dreams just like our Robin did.
I'm Isabella Latano. My name is Maria Detillier.
My name is Javier Amador, and I am a senior here at Southeastern Louisiana University.
These students among those walking the path paved by our own Robin Roberts.
3.
As the college opens its doors to the new Robin Roberts Broadcast Media Center.
The Robin Roberts Broadcast Media Center represents not only transformation, but the future of our university, leading and building competitive edge for our graduates.
A proud Southeastern Louisiana University alum, Robin found success in her own career, but always stayed true to her roots.
Robin for Robin.
Returning to campus over the years, during her battle with cancer,
I'm so proud to be a Lion!
and again to support the Hammond, Louisiana community after Hurricane Ida's devastation in 2021.
This new space is for all of our students on campus.
Now, for the first time, Robin seeing her name on the side of the campus's largest student building.
Woo. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Dad. Woo.
Touring the facility.
Yeah, hi. What's going on? Nice to see y'all.
And seeing the vision come to life.
This is a up-and-coming multimedia master's dream building. We want to thank you.
The building offering 3 broadcast media studios.
And then this is our control room.
Ah, the control room, the brains of the operation. Nice.
Including a news studio.
This is really cool.
Robin sitting down with sophomore Nyla Tarver, who put her own interview skills to the test.
Early in your career, you made bold decisions. You would leave one market to chase an opportunity in the next market, living by the mantra, dream big, but focus small.
You did your homework, girl. I love that.
With a strong foundation, Robin was rooted to rise, and that journey now memorialized with a legacy wall, a tribute and a launch pad.
We quickly kind of realized that this should be a message for students. I think that's so important for our young people today to understand that everybody you meet is important and everybody plays a role in your future.
Ooh. Robin's family and friends by her side when she saw that wall for the first time.
It is absolutely beautiful.
Robin is the child of Lawrence and Lucy Marion Roberts. We all had a firm foundation of faith and courage and love for one another. From a very young age, she cared about everyone. That's remarkable. And she also had ambition.
I see the new building as an opportunity. It is a fresh start for the university and really makes Southeastern a staple as, yes, we are here and we can make an impact.
What's most important is not the name on the side of the building, it's what's inside this building, and it's hope, it's dreams. It's making those dreams come true.
Bravo!
Appreciate that. It's a special time.
Got chills.
Very proud.
It's hard to imagine there wasn't even a communications major when you began your college career.
Yeah, at 18, no. But there wasn't, so I go, that's what I wanted to major in. But I also wanted to play basketball.
What did you
do? It was a speech. I was a speech major. But the basketball coach, may she rest in peace, Linda Puckett, promised me, more importantly, promised my parents that by my senior year, there would be a communications department. And so I was one of 2 students my senior year on creating the beta equipment.
Valedictorian.
Steve Zana was the photographer. I was the reporter.
Wow.
The instructors were just phenomenal. So to go from that, and I have to say, since the communications department has grown, the students and the Sports Southeastern Channel has won numerous awards in recent years.
Awesome. And this facility is going to be a real magnet now for new students.
Oh my gosh, for new students and also for those in the community. It's a great, Hammond America, so that's what it calls himself. Hammond America has a good relationship with those within the community. Because it's such a state-of-the-art facility, there will be people commercially wanting to use the facility. The school will allow that. It will bring in revenue for the communications department. But they also have to use students. They also have to use the students so they get the practical experience.
And
that
also,
they need.
can you imagine just walking on and you're coming on a campus tour and then you see, oh, it's the Robin Roberts. Like, it really holds a lot of weight.
I
And that's
appreciate that,
beautiful.
Ginger.
For generations, people are going to learn in there.
I hope
and
so.
that is so exciting.
And I have to thank Dr. Wainwright and his wife Misty. The list goes on and on and on. The contractors, the architect. It is absolutely exceeded all my expectations. And so I can just say, line up, line up. But thank you to all. Now the NFL players trading in their shoulder pads and helmets for scrubs, taking up nursing. Can you see Michael Strahan taking up nursing after retiring? It's a story. He would be great. It's a story we first saw in the New York Times, and Trevor Alt has more for us. Good morning there, Trevor.
Good morning, Robin. You know, only 13% of nurses are men, but there are actually several former football players who are challenging these stereotypes, and that includes Patrick Hill. He's a fullback turned full-time nurse here in L.A.
Stacked up and dropped on the play.
Patrick Hill always dreamt of playing professional football, and he achieved that dream, spending 2 years with the Tennessee Titans. But 10 years ago, he decided it was time for a new dream.
You know, I had 2 mouths to feed, and then I had a wife that was depending on me. So for me, it was kind of like, okay, let's call audible.
The former fullback swapped his shoulder pads for scrubs. He's now an inpatient psychiatric nurse at UCLA Medical Center.
It's very tough because nursing is humbling, but sometimes like I'll get a good IV stick and I'm like, yeah, I'm that guy still.
Yeah, like hyping yourself up
like
beforehand.
In my mind, I'm like, I'm him, and they're like, oh, I didn't feel that IV. I was like, yeah, I'm still him.
Patrick's colleagues say that enthusiasm from his playing days and his drive to be great also makes him a great nurse.
He knows how to tackle everything that patient is dealing with. Tackle, no pun intended. When we really need that pick-me-up as a team, he's there for us.
And Patrick is just one example of the NFL to nursing pipeline, several of them profiled by the New York Times.
That is as well blocked as I've ever seen.
DeBrickashaw Ferguson was a 3-time Pro Bowler for the New York Jets. He's now found his post-retirement calling as an oncology nurse in New Jersey. And Chiefs running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a 2-time Super Bowl champion, has been studying to eventually become a nurse while he's still playing.
Back in school for nursing, I can handle any medical emergencies.
And Patrick says he's well aware he doesn't fit the stereotype of what some people expect from a nurse, but he's happy to help lead the charge.
Occasionally a patient will be like, oh, so who's my nurse? They can't really see past the stature. It's definitely time to debunk that stereotype and to be like, hey, you know what? Guys are thriving in nursing.
Are the victories in your line of work now as satisfying as a win would have been in football?
I think it is. Yeah, definitely. Our first downs come in the terms of like, okay, you know, family came and visit, the mom or dad or husband or wife remembered who their loved one was today. That was a victory.
And Patrick says he thinks he's even better at nursing than he was at football because of Father Time is on his side, guys.
Oh, my goodness. And nurses, they're unsung heroes.
Yeah.
They're in the front lines all
story.
the time. Yeah, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to GMA, live from New York City.
And welcome back to Pop News with Lara.
It's been an awful week. I hope I can do this.
You can, I believe
I
you.
hope I got this, everybody.
You have to do it.
I figured I'm going to start safe and just go with the Daytime Emmy Awards and celebrate our people.
Yeah.
Because we have so much to celebrate right here. So many of our favorite shows took home hardware, including General Hospital, the big winner, taking 7 awards back to the ER, Outstanding Daytime Drama Series and Best Actress, given to GH star Nancy Lee Grahn and Jonathan Jackson. He won Best Supporting Actor in a Drama Series. Live with Kelly and Mark won the Emmy for Daytime Talk Series. Congrats, guys. Studio right next door to ours.
Neighbors.
And the Emmy for Outstanding Special went to Disney Parks Magical Christmas Day Parade. Outstanding Cinematography went to National Parks USA by Nat Geo. I actually saw that. It is spectacular. And then finally, 99 years young, Sir David Attenborough awarded a Daytime Emmy, making him the oldest person in history to win the award for his documentary, Secret Lives of Orangutans. Congratulations to all of the winners and all of our ABC favorites. Well deserved. Also deserved, Kenny Chesney. I always go back. There's a song. There you go. Go back. I go back to Kenny Chesney, the first country artist whose songs I really fell in love with. And last night, the superstar was officially inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame as part of their class of 2025. Chesney was inducted in the Modern Performer category alongside longtime music producer Tony Brown and the late June Carter Cash. Inducted 45 years after her husband Johnny received the same honor.
Last night's ceremony in Nashville saw tribute performances by quite the host of performers. Casey Musgraves, Trisha Yearwood, George Strait, Kelsey Ballerini, just to name a few. Congrats to all of the honorees. Next up for Kenny, by the way, he's headed to Vegas for a residency at the Sphere in 2026. Yep, it's going to be good. And then finally, guys, more than 1 billion people around the world are marking the Hindu celebration of Diwali.
Light.
Celebrating good, triumphing over evil. Families hang lights that symbolize the illumination within all of us, which can overcome ignorance, represented by darkness. Diwali is a time to be with family, exchanging gifts, watching fireworks displays. This colorful festival takes place over 5 days, beginning today, and marks the beginning of the new year in the Hindu calendar. Lots to celebrate.
Celebrating light.
Monday. Celebrating light, everybody.
Gorgeous.
Thank you, Larry.
Now with one of our faves, Chandra Wilson. You have known her for years as Dr. Miranda Bailey on Grey's Anatomy, and she's here to talk about the brand new season. Give it up for Dr. Bailey. Dr. Bailey's in there. Wonderful to lay my eyes on you again.
Oh, goodness.
22 seasons.
Yeah.
450th episode just aired, and it was, dare I say, an explosive start.
You know how we have to do.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, basically we ended last season knowing that we were coming into another milestone number. And even when I think about 450, sometimes it doesn't seem like that big a number, but when you say that it takes 21 years to get there, then that's when you really realize, wow, that's huge. It's huge what we've been able to do.
I know, and the following that you have had for all those years, I mean, people are so incredibly devoted. I want to show a little bit of a clip so people can see the new season. Here it is.
You are no longer at the bottom of the surgical food chain. You are responsible for teaching them, from running codes to finding the cafeteria. They will mess up, and when they do, it is on you to fix it.
You are such a boss. I mean, even when I hear your voice, I kind of stand up.
It's like, oh yeah, that's her.
I know, but not only your character is a mentor on the show, you personally, Alexis Floyd, who started. You know, we saw her on a special event and how you were like coaching her a little bit. So even yourself, you do that.
I mean, everything has to be about passing it forward, right?
Yeah.
Taking the lessons that you learn and passing that forward. So whether it's new actors, new series regulars that come onto the show, especially when I'm directing, and I usually always have a shadow director or two that are with me during that to pass that information forward so then they could take it and grow and soar.
You remember how it was.
Absolutely. You feel like completely naked, right? Like you don't know what it is that you're doing half the time. I came from theater, so I knew stage, but I really didn't understand television. And especially now when you're coming into a show that's been around as long as we have, I'm sure they feel like, where do I fit into this picture? And I take it upon myself to say, you're here because you did that audition, you were chosen, don't worry about that part anymore, right?
Yeah.
So now, make your own mark.
They need to hear that, and they hear it from someone like yourself. Do people stop you on the street and ask you for medical advice?
I don't even understand why.
Do they really?
I'm sure they know that they're joking, and I just reinforce the fact that I don't know about any of that, but I do know how to call 911.
There you go. So that's the advice that you give them. But you also are a trendsetter because, if memory serves me correctly, early on you were pregnant.
Yes.
And it was written into the show.
Yes.
And now there have been a lot of Grey's babies.
We've had
and your son's now 20.
Yes,
Michael?
yes. My son turns 20 this month. Wow, 20 years since since Bailey was pregnant, and so basically he was the first show baby, and in our cast that have come through over the years, we've had at least 36 births in our cast, so it's pretty amazing.
36?
Yeah. I think I stopped counting at 36.
What is in the water over there? I mean, we've had a few over here, but not.
Yeah, and I never would have thought that. My first instinct was to get in touch with Shonda and say thank you so much for allowing me to play Dr. Bailey for the first season, and I understand that I'll have to step away now, to where she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Don't be ridiculous. And that was news to my ears. It just was news.
And that was part of Shonda Land and Shonda Rhimes, how she changed the industry.
Absolutely.
Because before, that would not be the case.
Yeah, you'd be out. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you want folks folks that are going to be tuning in again after all this time, what can they expect? I'm not going to ask you to give up any of the secrets or anything like that, but just let them know.
You know, we say thank you a lot on our show. Thank you to the fans, especially. We love to throw back to things that they'll remember from prior seasons. And our showrunner now, Meg, said to me, you know what? We're about dropping in kernels of hope wherever we can put it, because we need that as much as possible. Little kernels of hope through all the crazy stuff that we do, but there's still something in there to say, okay, we're doing it. We can go on. You know, we're okay.
And we need to hear that more so than ever.
Yes,
more so
we
than
do.
ever. Chandra Wilson, thank you so much.
Yay, my pleasure.
Just so happy for the entire cast.
Yes,
and thank you for the joy.
Yeah.
Thank you for that light that you bring for 22 seasons and counting.
It emanates from everyone in our company.
I know it does. It comes through. And you can catch Grey's Anatomy Thursdays. I couldn't imagine Thursdays without Grey's Anatomy at 10, 9 Central here on ABC, streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
I am sitting here learning things with Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. They're starring in a new film, Begonia. Good morning. Welcome back. Good to see you both.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
So tell us about Begonia. What is the story?
Do you want to take that one?
It's a wild, twisty, turny ride involving a couple of conspiracy theorists and a very high-power CEO that is kidnapped. And then a bunch of crazy things ensue.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Leave
you
it
gotta
at
go see
that.
the movie.
But you did have to go down this rabbit hole of studying conspiracy theories, right?
I did. Well, I mean, I think it's maybe a little strange to say that that's part of the fun, but it's very interesting. And turns out it's not very hard to find if you go looking on the internet.
Not hard at all.
Not at all, which is scary, but was helpful for me in this circumstance.
Your hair is growing back now, but you shaved it off for this role?
I did. Yes, we shaved my head live in the moment. Set up 4 cameras and shaved my head.
And I just saw in a clip, there was a screening a couple weeks ago where people actually had to shave their heads to go to the screening.
Yes, and there's one coming up where you can either already be bald or you can have your head shaved. But everyone in the audience will somehow.
I hope they get a free ticket if they shave
It's
their
free.
head.
Absolutely. Yes,
You
of
gonna do it,
course.
That would be a big change. What do you think, Simone?
Come
What happens
on.
if I shave my head? I'm asking our producers right now. She's all for it. No way.
It feels great. I'm telling you. It's great.
Let's take a look at a clip.
You shaved off my hair?
Yes, we've shaved off your hair.
Why have you shaved off my hair?
To prevent you from contacting your ship.
My ship?
Your ship.
What ship?
Your mothership?
That might not inspire confidence to shave your head, but I'm telling you, it's great.
With the cream, it really ties it all together.
Now, is it true this is the hardest role you've ever done?
I think, in a way, yes, because of the circumstances, because of the sort of stakes of the character, because of the fact that in his mind, the fate of the world is resting solely on his shoulders. So to kind of reach that place and maintain that place throughout.
That's a heavy responsibility.
Yeah, luckily, I don't feel that way, but I did for a little while. Yeah.
This is your 5th project with the director Yorgos Lanthimos. I guess you're kind of his muse. Another Greek. I can pronounce the name, thank goodness.
Right.
But you actually made him make a pact
for
this. What was the pact?
Well, we're back to the head shave again. Just that he had to shave his head. But it was a much easier process for him. But I did get to shave his head before I had my head
You
shaved.
shaved it?
Yeah.
Are you ever tempted to go back?
No, I mean, I had to shave it every 2 days because it maintains. So I feel like I've had my fill for now, but who knows? Who knows what the future holds?
You never know. Have you ever had to shave your head for a role?
I think Kinds of Kindness, it was pretty short. Maybe not quite as short as yours on this. But no, it was nice, but you do find the urge to just kind of...
Just keep rubbing your head. I had a crew cut when I was 4. That was the last time.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you should do it. By end of day today.
We have 3 votes.
We're going to start a countdown clock. Live.
Thank you both for coming in.
Thank
Begonia's in
you.
select theaters this Friday nationwide, October 31st. And coming up, Oprah Daily Beauty Director Kate Sandoval's box is here with their best beauty products of the year.
We
We are so happy to be back with the hottest beauty buys of the year. These are the winners of Oprah's Daily 2025 Beauty Awards. Oprah Daily reviewed hundreds of makeup, hair, skincare products. It's beauty director Kate Sandoval Box's turn now to show us the must-haves. And yes, they are all shoppable. I have already started. Kate, I want to get started by doing a very special message that we got from the one and only Shakira about our first product. Check this out.
Hi GMA, I gotta say I'm so grateful that this year the Oprah Beauty Awards are featuring one of my Eczema products, the Curls Don't Lie Curl Perfector. So I hope you girls try it out and let me know what you think. And I hope you like it as much as I do.
Okay, I want this because if I could have hair like that.
I know. So the idea that even Shakira couldn't find a curl cream that worked for her.
It's really true. I think a lot of us are trying not to dry our hair as much. We're going longer with it.
Exactly.
And so to have a product that takes away that frizz,
it
and
really
Oprah
does.
says this is the one.
This is incredible. I put it on half of my natural waves and then tried every other curl product that launched this year on the other half. Every time people were like, the Shakira side, it looks better, frizz-free, and this smells
and those hips don't lie, girl.
amazing. Those hips don't lie, those curls don't lie.
Exactly. All right, so check that every QR code right there. I am all over that one because I have naturally curly hair. Tell me a little bit about this product because this is another Oprah fave.
Yes, this is Korean Beauty Medicube. It's an overnight mask. So I used this last night. You put it all over your face, dries in 10 minutes, completely clear, won't come off on your pillow at night, sleep in it, wash it off in the morning. Your skin will look immediately plumper, fresher, glowier.
Those Korean
amazing.
products
They
are
know what they're
phenomenal.
doing.
They sure do. All right, thank you. And another product that she loves. This one is.
This is a moisturizer from Skin Fix.
Okay.
It's called a water cream. So it gives any skin type a really nice drink of water, super thin, lightweight. I like to use it in the morning when I know I'm going to be layering on sunscreen
After
and makeup
your
after.
Mask.
Yep, exactly.
Then
I've got this on next.
Okay. So guys, check that out. Shoppable code right there. And then why does Oprah like this product?
Okay, so this is the Alpen Beauty Neck Serum. I don't know about you, but it's the first place I'm seeing aging, the tech neck.
Hello, notice the
horizontal
turtleneck.
lines from looking down at our screens too much.
Yep.
This is the answer. It has peptides. When I apply it, I look up at the ceiling and go from jawline all the way down the side of my neck to my
I think
chest.
you're supposed to go up.
Yes, you can go up. I like the downward helps drain, the upward helps lift.
Yeah, okay, so do it all, everybody.
The big news here, Alpen is giving GMA viewers 20% off today.
Okay, I'm definitely
that
getting it.
brings the price down to under $50. Incredible deal for
Yeah,
next
and this
serum.
is a very highly rated project.
I'm using
and I
this
don't know,
every day.
I feel like when Oprah speaks, I'm listening.
Yeah, exactly.
And then everybody should floss.
Everybody
and this makes
should
it
floss.
a lot easier.
I am becoming a good flosser now because of this. This is the Flouse. It's like your electric toothbrush, but it's an electric flosser. And the
So
long
you just
handle,
get it in and
it's
then-
so easy to glide. It's sped up my routine.
Okay.
It works really well. The floss right here is super durable. It's not going to shred on you.
And what if it does?
It pops, the cap pops off and you
And
put
then you have
another one
another-
right on
okay.
and you're ready to go.
Oh, very easy. All right,
It's
I love
really
that.
easy.
That's
I love it.
Innovative. And then finally, this one's a little pricey, but it's all about the what is this light
This is
called
an
again?
LED face mask.
And why do they think this is such a great thing for us?
Experts, this has a lot of scientific evidence showing that it works. The LED light therapy can penetrate your skin. It energizes your skin cells so that they work better, you look better. The red LED light calms your skin. The blue LED light helps clear acne.
Okay.
And right now, this looks pink because it has both lights on. The best part is in the back, they have these cooling pads that go around your eyes. Depuffs feels amazing.
So it's a multitasker.
It really is, and you can multitask. You can wear this and walk around and do things. I like to lay down and take the 5 minutes to relax, but up to you.
Looking like you're ready for hockey or Halloween.
Or Halloween.
But your skin will look fabulous after
It
those 5
really
minutes.
will.
And then what's the price on this?
Oh, that is a really good question. It's
$349,
$349, a little bit of a splurge.
And that's what
but
Oprah says. It is a splurge, but you will see a big difference.
You
So
really will.
You really get the
Stick
range and
to
price,
it.
plus you get the discount. Check out all of these products on goodmorningamerica.com, everybody. And Kate will be back on GMA3 with even more Beauty Awards winners.
Beauty
Kate, we
Awards.
love when you're
Thank
here.
you.
Thanks for
Thank
teaching
you,
us
Laura.
and giving us these great deals. You have 10 seconds to see it too.
Have a great day, everyone.
It was a really good day.
See ya.